Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's lecture is about the structure of proteins and some few points about extracellular matrix. प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स जो हैं वो आप लोगों ने नोट से करने हैं जो मैंने आप लोगों को दिए थे. अगर किसी के पास नहीं है तो प्लीज़ पहले वाले स्टूडेंट से ले लें. Primary structure of proteins, we'll discuss it in the first of all the concept of primary structure of proteins, peptide bond formation, naming the amino acids in a polypeptide chain, and characteristics of a peptide bond, and finally the significance of primary structure of proteins. As we all know, the 20 amino acids found in proteins are joined together by peptide bonds. The linear sequence of linked amino acids contains the information necessary to generate a protein molecule with a unique 3D shape. The protein structure is best analyzed by considering the molecules in terms of 4 organizational levels, namely primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. Primary structure of protein basically है क्या? It is a linear sequence of amino acids in a protein which is called a primary structure of protein. ठीक है, जब भी अमाइनो एसिड जो है वो एक स्ट्रेट चेन में लीनियर सीक्वेंस में अटैच होंगे तो उसको हम प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर कहेंगे. दिस इज द मोस्ट सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ प्रोटीन स्ट्रक्चर. All proteins have their own specific primary structure and amino acid sequence which is determined by genes. For example, the peptide which is shown in this red, it has a different primary structure as compared to this primary structure, although the amino acids in this are same. Number of amino acids is same, but they have a different kind of amino acid, and both have the same number of amino acids, but both have different primary structure and both have different functions. Peptide bond. In proteins, amino acids are joined covalently by peptide bonds, which are amide linkages between the alpha carboxyl group of one amino acid and alpha amino group of an other amino acid. A molecule of release is motor is formed when two amino acids are joined together. As you can see, this is the alpha carbon of amino group, and this is the alpha carbon of the carboxyl group. When a bond is formed between the alpha carbon of carboxyl group of one amino acid and the alpha carbon amino group of the other amino acid, a peptide bond is formed and a water molecule is released in this process. For example, valine and alanine can form a dipeptide vinyl alanine and through the formation of a peptide bond. Peptide bonds are not broken by conditions that denature proteins such as heating or high concentrations of urea. Prolonged concentrations of strong acid or base at elevated temperature is required to hydrolyze the bonds non-enzymatically. Naming the polypeptide linkage of amino acid through peptide bond results in an unbranched chain called a polypeptide, and each component amino acid in a polypeptide is known as a residue. And residue is formed because it is a portion of the amino acid remaining after the atoms of water are lost in the formation of a peptide bond. पॉलीपेप्टाइड को अब हम नेम किस तरह से करते हैं कि द फ्री अमाइनो एंड एंड टर्मिनल ऑफ द peptide chain is written to the left and the free carboxyl group is written to the right, and therefore all amino acids are read from the sequence N to C terminal end of the peptide chain. For example, valine and alanine, when they are combined, we can name them vinyl alanine polypeptide bond. When a polypeptide is named, all amino acid residues have their suffixes that end in "-ine", "-ane", "-ic", or "-ate". They are changed into "-ile". For example, glycine is changed into "glyl", aspartic acid is changed into "-ile", with the exception of C terminal amino acid, जिनके C terminal जो है वो end में है, उनको हम इसमें शामिल नहीं करते. For example, a tripeptide composed of an N-terminal valine, a glycine and a C-terminal leucine is called valyl glycyl leucine. इसमें हमने C-terminal वाले leucine को change नहीं किया. फिर आ जाती हैं characteristics of peptide bond. ये सारे जो topics हैं ये आप लोगों ने उससे करने हैं लिपिनकॉट से. सिर्फ जो प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स का टॉपिक है वो हार्पर में गिवन है. ठीक है. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड क्या है? क्या पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड हैज अ पार्शियल डबल बॉन्ड कैरेक्टर. इट इज रिजिड एंड प्लानर. इट हैज अ ट्रांस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन and it is uncharged but polar. Peptide bond has a partial double bond character that is shorter than a single bond. This is due to the phenomena of resonance in peptide bond. Bonds जो है इसमें आपस में shift होते रहते हैं continuously, जिसकी वजह से it has a partial double bond character. This is a diagram showing the three-dimensional structure of the resonance structure of peptide bond. Actual structure जो बनता है ना, that is a hybrid of two resonance forms. Okay. रेजोनेंस स्ट्रक्चर का कॉन्सिक्वेंस क्या होता है कि रोटेशन अराउंड द पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड इज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड and that is why it is said to be rigid, and the carbonyl oxygen is positioned trans to the amide hydrogen. Okay, now the atoms which I have highlighted in this blue box, they are actually in one plane, means ke they have one line of plane and they are coplanar. And rotation around carbon to nitrogen bond is restricted because of the resonance hybrid structures, and peptide groups blue planes are therefore planar structures. ये जो movement, ये जो dotted line है, that is restricted. Peptide bond is essentially planar. ठीक है. Pair of amino acid linked by peptide bond, 6 atoms lie in a same plane. Okay, there is a partial positive charge on the amide nitrogen and a partial negative charge on the carbonyl oxygen. Polarity of the peptide bond, it has peptide bond is uncharged but it is polar. That means that they neither accept or nor release protons over a pH range of 2 to 12. Charge group present in polypeptide consists of N-terminal group and the C-terminal group, and any ionized group present in the side chains of constituent amino acids. The carbon and oxygen and nitrogen hydrogen groups of peptide bonds are polar and are involved in hydrogen bonds, for example in alpha helices and beta sheet structures. Significance क्या है primary structure की कि the structure, function and general properties of protein are all determined by the sequence of amino acids that make up its primary structure. Many genetic diseases result in proteins with abnormal amino acid sequence, which cause improper folding and loss or impairment of normal function. If the primary structure of the normal and the mutated proteins are known, this information may be used to diagnose and study the disease. Okay, that was about the primary structure. Now we have to see the secondary structure. Secondary structure of proteins. Secondary structure is defined by the patterns of hydrogen bomb formed between amide hydrogen and carbonyl oxygen atoms contained in the backbone peptide bonds of the protein. The alpha helix, beta sheet, and beta bands are examples of the secondary structures frequently encountered in proteins. Okay, as you can see in the figure, the backbone structures are joined through peptide bonds. Okay, the important structure in peptide bond is
Mama?
alpha helix. Alpha helix is a spiral, most common secondary protein found in nature. Examples इसकी हैं rigid keratin protein of hair, nails and skin. In contrast to keratin, myoglobin, whose structure is also highly helical, is a globular flexible molecule. Alpha helix is stabilized by extensive hydrogen bonding between the peptide bond carbonyl oxygen and amide hydrogens that are part of the polypeptide backbone.
Mama?
Hydrogen bonds are individually weak, but they collectively serve to stabilize the helix. Each strand of an alpha helix contains 3.6 amino acids. Proteins that describe secondary structures include proline, glutamate, aspartate, histidine, lysine, arginine, and amino acid with bulky side chains like tryptophan. Proline produces a kink in alpha helix while others form ionic interactions that repel each other. And tryptophan interferes with alpha chain formation. Okay, this is a diagram showing the alpha helix with peptide bonds. In this diagram, you can see the intra-chain hydrogen bonding. इंटरचेन मीन्स कि एक चेन और दूसरी चेन के बीच में जो हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग है. एंड द साइड चेन्स ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड्स एक्सटेंड आउटवर्ड्स. फिर आ जाते हैं बीटा शीट. बीटा शीट इज अनदर फॉर्म ऑफ सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर इन विच all of the peptide bond components are involved in hydrogen bonding. The surfaces of beta sheets appear plated, and these structures are therefore often called beta plated sheets. In globular proteins, beta sheets always have a right-handed curl or twist when viewed along the polypeptide backbone. Twisted beta sheets often form the core of globular proteins. This is a diagram which shows the hydrogen bonds between the beta chains. As you can see, it looks like the pages or leaflets of a book. The surface is plated and polypeptide chains are almost fully extended. Comparison of a beta sheet and an alpha helix. Unlike the alpha helix, beta sheets are composed of two or more peptide chains, beta strands, or segments of polypeptide chains which are almost fully extended. In beta sheets, the hydrogen bonds are perpendicular to the polypeptide backbone. There are two types of beta sheets. These are anti-parallel sheets and the parallel sheets. In anti-parallel sheet, the N-terminal and the C-terminal ends of the beta strands alternate with each other. In parallel sheets, all the N-termini of beta strands are placed together. The diagram shows the anti-parallel and the parallel sheets. इसमें आप देख लें कि जो ऊपर वाला B part है, इसमें जो arrows हैं, they are opposite to each other. इसमें N टर्मिनल के सामने C टर्मिनल है और C टर्मिनल के सामने N टर्मिनल है. दिस इज एंटी पैरेलल शीट. फिर नीचे जो C फिगर है दैट इज दी पैरेलल बीटा प्लेटेड शीट. इसमें एरोज का जो डायरेक्शन है वो इस सेम डायरेक्शन है. इसमें N टर्मिनल के सामने N टर्मिनल ही है और C टर्मिनल के सामने C टर्मिनल ही है. फिर बीटा स्ट्रक्चर की जो टाइप है दैट इज बीटा बैंड्स. इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड रिवर्स टर्न्स और बीटा टर्न्स. Beta bands reverse the direction of a polypeptide chain, helping it to form a compact globular structure. They are usually found on the surface of protein molecules and often include charged residues. They are called beta bands because they connect these successive strands of antiparallel beta sheets. Beta bands are stabilized by the formation of hydrogen and ionic bonds. Beta bands are composed of four amino acids, proline being most common, proline and glycine being the most common. फिर आ जाता है नॉन रेपिटेटिव सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर. इट इज़ नॉन रैंडम स्ट्रक्चर एंड लेस रेगुलर स्ट्रक्चर. फिर सुपर सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, इसको हम मोटिव्स कहते हैं. आर यूजुअली प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय पैकिंग साइड चेन फ्रॉम एडजेसेंट सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चरल एलिमेंट्स क्लोज टू ईच अदर. Proteins that are bound to nucleic acid DNA contain a limited number of motifs. The helix loop helix motif is an example found in a number of proteins that function as transcription factors. Examples of beta barrel, beta mender, beta alpha, beta unit, and helix loop helix. Importance क्या है secondary structure की? Both protein and nucleic acid secondary structures can be used to aid in multiple sequence alignment. Distant relationship between proteins whose primary structures are unalignable can sometimes be found by secondary structures. So अभी आप 5 मिनट्स की ब्रेक ले लो, फिर टर्शियरी स्ट्रक्चर आपको करवाते हैं.
तुम दिमाग खराब कर दिया।
Tertiary structure. Tertiary structure shows the 3D folding or bundling up of the protein. Non-polar residues are buried inside, and polar residues are exposed outward toward the aqueous environment. Many proteins are organized into multiple domains. What are domains? Domains are compact globular units that are connected by a flexible segment of the polypeptide. Each domain contributes a specific function to the overall proteins. Different proteins may share similar domains. For example, kinase, cysteine, range, globin domains. Secondary structure of proteins often constitute distinct domains, and domain is the basic unit of structure and function. Tertiary structure describes the relationship of different domains to one another within a protein, or the final arrangement of domains in a polypeptide. Interaction between the different domains is governed by several forces, for example, hydrogen bonding, hydrophobic interactions, electrostatic interactions, and van der Waals forces. alpha helix and beta sheet, hydrogen bonding, and this eliminates the possibility of water to disrupt the structure of proteins. Polypeptide chain more than 200 amino acids in length generally consist of two or more domains. Core of domain is built from the motifs. Folding of the peptide chain within the domain usually occurs independently of folding in other domains. So each domain has a characteristic of a small compact globular protein. It is independent of other domains. This is a comparison of different protein structures. Primary structure is the simplest, then is a secondary structure, tertiary structure, and the quaternary structure. What are the forces which control the tertiary structure? These are hydrogen bonds among polar side chains, ionic bonds between charged R groups, and hydrophobic interactions among hydrophobic R groups. What kind of hydrogen bonding is present in tertiary structure? Polypeptide contain numerous proton donors and acceptors, both in their backbone and in the R groups of amino acids. The environment in which proteins are found also contain hydrogen bond donors and acceptors of the water molecule. Hydrogen bonding occurs not only within and between the polypeptide chain but with the surrounding aqueous medium also. As you can see कि ये जो green line show की हुई है that shows कि इसके इस side पे water है, तो ये हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग जो है इनकी आपस में भी है एंड दैट इज ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट विद द वाटर एज वेल. जो साइड पे वाटर होगा ना. फिर कुछ हाइड्रोफोबिक फोर्सेस हैं. प्रोटीन्स आर कंपोज्ड ऑफ अमीनो एसिड्स दैट कंटेन ईदर हाइड्रोफिलिक और हाइड्रोफोबिक आर ग्रुप्स. इट इज द नेचर ऑफ द इंटरेक्शन ऑफ डिफरेंट आर ग्रुप्स with the aqueous environment that plays the major role in shaping protein structure. The spontaneous folded state of globular proteins is the balance between opposing energetics of hydrogen bonding between hydrophilic R groups and the aqueous environment and the repulsion from the aqueous environment by the hydrophobic R groups. The hydrophobic nature of certain amino acids tend to move away from them from the exterior of proteins and into the interior. This driving force restricts the available conformations into which a protein may fold. There are some electrostatic forces are mainly of three types: charge to charge, charge dipole, and dipole dipole. Typical charge to charge interaction that favor protein folding are those between oppositely charged R groups such as K or R or D or E. Charge dipole interactions, this refers to interaction of ionized R groups of amino acids with dipole of water molecule. Where there are some van der Waals forces. These are both attractive and repulsive van der Waals forces that control protein folding. Attractive van der Waals forces involve the interactions among induced dipoles that arise from fluctuations in the charge densities. And repulsive van der Waals forces occur between uncharged non-bonded atoms when they are close to each other. Repulsion is a result of electron-electron repulsion. Van der Waals forces are extremely weak relative to other forces It is the huge number of such interactions that occur in large protein molecules that make them significant to ओके जी। Where were we? There was some kind of power failure. Van der Waals forces are extremely weak relative to other forces. It is a huge number of such interactions that occur in large protein molecules that make them significant to folding of proteins. This diagram shows the types of bonding present between the tertiary structure. First one is the hydrogen bonding. As you can see, it is between the different type of chains. Um then is the hydrophobic interactions, clustering of hydrophobic groups away from water, and van der Waals interactions. It is the polypeptide backbone, disulfide bridges between the chains, and the ionic bonds. Example is shown hydrophobic interaction is shown between the isoleucine and leucine molecules. Um, as you can see, they are repulsing each other. Strong covalent bonds that are present in tertiary structure are sulfhydryl bonds of cysteine monomers that stabilize the structure.
Mama, ये अनाज आ रही है.
This figure shows the formation of a disulfide bond by the oxidation of two cysteine residues, producing one cysteine residue. This kind of interaction is present between in immunoglobulins and antibody structure. There is a quaternary structure. The quaternary structure is one of the most complex structures, and it results from the aggregation of two or more polypeptide subunits held together by non-covalent interaction like hydrogen bonds, ionic or hydrophobic interactions. Examples of proteins having quaternary structure include collagen. Collagen is a fibrous protein of three polypeptides that are supercoiled like a rope. And this provides the structural strength for their role in connective tissues. Hemoglobin is a globular protein with four polypeptide chains. It is tetrameric. And insulin is a two polypeptide chain unit that is it is dimeric. Different types of structural organization of proteins shown is in this picture. Then there are some fibrous proteins. These are structural proteins that form long fibers and give strength to structures in cell and body. For example, keratin found in hair and nails. It is a dimer having two subunits held together by covalent and non-covalent interactions. Van der Waals forces between the non-polar side chains of amino acids found on these subunits. Ionic interactions between the negatively and positively charged side chains, and disulfide bonds between the cysteine residues. The protein having more disulfide bonds, more rigid, will be the fibrous protein. Amino acid sequence is actually it has a property that dictates the primary structure. Each protein has a unique and a specific 3D structure that depends on the amino acid sequence. This is their native conformation. Denaturing agents such as urea or gonidium chloride disrupt this 3D structure. Any physical or chemical process that changes the protein structure and makes it incapable of performing its normal function disrupts the structure of proteins. Denaturation is reversible. Removal of denaturants agents at sometimes presence of chevrons proteins are required for refolding. Protein folding is a cooperative all or none process. Then there is the hydrolysis of peptides and proteins. Uh, Peptide bonds are amide bonds and are resistant to hydrolysis. However, they can be hydrolyzed with enzymes with strong acids or bases and heat. Proteins are hydrolyzed in the stomach with both hydrochloric acid and enzymes such as pepsin. The amino acids are then absorbed in the intestines and used to synthesize new proteins. Below is the acid hydrolysis of dipeptide alanine and serine to form the amino acid alanine and serine. ठीक है, एला सेरीन की अगर हम हाइड्रोलिसिस करें इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ हीट वाटर एंड हाइड्रोजन आइंस तो इट फॉर्म्स एलानिन एंड सेरीन. फिर है जी डीनेचरेशन ऑफ प्रोटीन्स. Denaturation causes proteins to lose their 3D structure and so they lose their function. Denaturation involves the disruption of cross-linking in the secondary, tertiary, and quaternary protein structures. There are different denaturing agents. For example, heat and organic compounds disrupt hydrogen bonding and hydrophobic interactions. Acid and bases disrupt hydrogen bonding between polar R groups and break the ionic bonds. Heavy metal ions break these sulfur-sulfur bonds by reacting with the sulfur. And agitation such as whipping stretches chains, disrupting all types of cross-linking. There are certain applications of denaturation. For example, when an egg is fried or cooked, the skin is white with alcohol. Heat is used to cauterize the blood vessels, and instruments are sterilized in autoclaves. Then there is an important topic, protein folding. इसमें से काफ़ी सारे MCQs भी आते हैं और कोई छोटा सा नोट भी आ सकता है. ये सब टॉपिक्स आप लोगों ने लिपिन कॉर्ड से करने हैं. Protein folding. What is protein folding? Proteins must fold to assume their functional native state. Folding can be spontaneous as a result of primary structure or facilitated by proteins known as chevrons. What is the role of proteins, chevrons in protein folding? It is very cooperative process. और प्रोटीन ने किस तरह से फोल्ड होना है, ये किस सीक्वेंस में होगा? अमाइनो एसिड सीक्वेंस जो कि प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर में प्रेजेंट है. Most proteins when denatured do not resume their native structures. When denatured, even under favorable conditions. Chevrons का रोल क्या है in protein folding? Chevrons are basically heat shock proteins, and they are produced in cell under stressful conditions. For example, heat, acidic and basic conditions of change of pH. And proteins begins to fold in stages during its synthesis. Chevrons are molecular chevrons and these are also known as heat shock proteins. Different types हैं इसकी, 60 kD भी है, 70 kD भी है. And heat shock proteins 70 kD are important in keeping the protein unfolded until its synthesis is complete. Heat shock proteins like cage proteins are sometimes referred to as chevronins. Chevrons जो हैं, they then facilitate the correct protein folding. This is a diagram from lipid cord. This is formation of the secondary structure. आप देख लें. उसके बाद ये है कि प्रोटीन मोनोमर किस तरह से बनता है और प्रोटीन जो है वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उसका स्ट्रक्चर कॉम्पैक्ट और फोल्डेड होता जा रहा है. 1 2 3 से आप देख लें फोल्डेड स्ट्रक्चर ज़्यादा बनता जा रहा है. तो ये किस वजह से है? शेफ्रॉन्स की वजह से. प्रोटीन मिसफोल्डिंग इज अनदर टर्म विच शोज के प्रोटीन की अगर फोल्डिंग गलत हो जाए तो दे आर डिग्रेडेड। प्रोटीन डिग्रेडेशन किस तरह होती है? यूबिक्विटिन पाथवे से जो डिफेक्टिव प्रोटीन्स होती हैं उसके साथ यूबिक्विटिन प्रोटीन अटैच हो जाती है और उसकी फेगोसाइटोसिस हो जाती है और प्रोटीन ख़त्म हो जाती है। Proteins marked in this way are rapidly degraded by a cellular component known as proteasome, which is a macromolecular ATP-dependent proteolytic system located in the cytosol. And the DF508 mutation seen in cystic fibrosis causing misfolding of the cystic fibrosis transport protein, resulting in the proteasomal degradation of that protein. What are the steps in protein degradation? First of all, the protein destined for degradation is tagged with protein molecules of ubiquitin. Then the ubiquitinated proteins are recognized by the proteasome, which unfolds and transport the protein to its proteolytic core. In the third step, the peptide fragments produced by the proteasome are degraded to amino acids. Then there are misfolded protein. Misfolded proteins कब बनती हैं कि जब there in mutation हो जाती है किसी भी amino acid sequence और gene sequence में, उसकी वजह से प्रोटीन नॉर्मल नहीं बनती और ऑल्टर्ड प्रोटीन बनती है, और जो एबनॉर्मल प्रोटीन होती है उसमें it is difficult to perform its functions. And different types of disease होती हैं abnormal proteins की accumulation से, for example amyloid disease and prion disease. Amyloid disease is also known as Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's में basically होता क्या है कि abnormal proteins बन जाती हैं that are insoluble and they tend to accumulate in the brain and amyloid plaques बन जाते हैं उसके अंदर, and these are neurotoxic, pathogenic, इसकी वजह से cognitive impairment होती है. Some cases of Alzheimer's disease are not genetic and 5% cases are familial. इसमें न्यूरोफिब्रिलरी टेंगल्स बन जाते हैं. एबनॉर्मल फॉर्म टॉप प्रोटीन इसके अंदर बनती है, टॉप TAU टॉप प्रोटीन, जो कि अगर हेल्दी हो तो इट हेल्प्स इन द असेंबली ऑफ माइक्रोट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर. डिफेक्टिव प्रोटीन जो है उसमें क्या होता है कि नॉर्मल प्रोटीन का स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है और माइक्रोट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो अगर सही ना हो तो उससे ट्रांसपोर्ट डिफेक्टिव होती है. एज यू कैन सी कि ये नॉर्मल न्यूरोनल स्ट्रक्चर है इन द ब्रेन एंड दैट इज अल्जाइमर्स में क्या होता है कि सेल्स में वियर एंड टियर ज़्यादा बनता है, उसमें एमिलॉइड प्लाक ज़्यादा बनते हैं सेल्स के अराउंड भी और सेल्स के अंदर भी. डैमेज ब्रेन टिश्यू जो है अल्जाइमर्स डिजीज में, इसमें बहुत सारे मैसेजेस ट्रांसमिट नहीं होते, कॉजिंग द सिम्टम्स ऑफ फॉरगेटफुलनेस एंड कॉग्निटिव इम्पेयरमेंट. फिर प्रायन डिजीज है, इसके बारे में आपको सिर्फ यही पता होना चाहिए कि इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज मैड काउ डिजीज. इट इज अ कॉजेटिव एजेंट ऑफ ट्रांसमिसिबल स्पॉन्जिफॉर्म एनसेफेलोपैथीज एंड क्रूसफेल जेकब डिजीज, और ये एनिमल्स से जो है वो कैटल से ह्यूमंस में ट्रांसफर होती है. इन्फेक्शियस प्रोटीन इसमें बनती है जो कि हाईली रेजिस्टेंट टू प्रोटियोलिटिक डिग्रेडेशन एंड इट फॉर्म्स इनसॉल्युबल एग्रीगेट्स इन द ब्रेन. It is another non-infectious form which is present in mammalian brains. And जो infectious protein है उसमें और non-infectious में difference क्या है कि जो non-infectious protein की alpha helixes है ना, these are replaced by beta sheets in the infectious form. And it is a fatal disease and no treatment is available. Then these are last few slides about extracellular matrix. Extracellular matrix is a three-dimensional network of extracellular molecules such as collagen, enzymes, and glycoproteins that provide structural and biochemical support to surrounding cells. It is composed of cells which are of mesenchymal origin. It includes fibroblasts, smooth muscle cells, chondroblasts, and osteoblasts. And organic fibrillar matrix, water, and organic non-fibrillar matrix. Functions इसके क्या क्या हैं कि it provides support and encourage for cells.
Mama, I want to go on holiday.
Functions of ECM क्या क्या हैं? It provides support and encourage for cells, regulates and determine dynamic behavior, provides mechanical support to tissues. डायनेमिक बिहेवियर का मतलब क्या है कि जो सेल टू सेल एडेशन होती है या फिर सेल टू सेल माइग्रेशन होती है या सेल की डिफरेंशिएशन होती है, दैट इज ड्यू टू दी एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर मैट्रिक्स. एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर मैट्रिक्स जो है उसमें ऐसे कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं जो सेल को एक दूसरे के साथ अटैच करवाने में और डिफरेंशिएट करवाने में और माइग्रेट करवाने में हेल्प करते हैं. एंड ECM प्रोवाइड्स मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट फॉर टिश्यूज एंड ऑर्गेनिक स्ट्रक्चर्स. एक्सचेंज ऑफ मेटाबोलाइट्स और आयंस जो है वो थ्रू एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर मैट्रिक्स होती है. स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ECM में कौन सी चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है? दीज आर कोलेजन, एलास्टिन, प्रोटियोग्लाइकेन्स एंड स्ट्रक्चरल ग्लाइकोप्रोटीन्स, फाइब्रोनेक्टिन एंड लैमिनिन. सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. आप लोगों ने प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स का टॉपिक जो है वो हार्पर में गिवन है. उसके मैंने नोट्स भी दिए हुए हैं, तो वो नोट्स आप एक दूसरे से एक्सचेंज कर लें प्लीज. Okay, thank you very much.